Hello, it's the Geek of Gothness back again, and boy do I have things to talk about. So I used to be a pretty huge Assassin's Creed fan, but I kinda lost interest after a while, like I'm sure happened with a lot of people. But I have been trying to get back into the series recently. I am almost done playing through the Ezio trilogy for the second time ever, and I'm gonna work my way from there, and see how things go. That being said, I figured I'd finally talk about the Assassin's Creed Shadows situation and what I think about that, and now's as good a time as any since more information about the game came out recently, but I'll get to that. So when Assassin's Creed Shadows was first announced, I really couldn't have given a shit less. Like I said, I lost interest in the series for a while, and Shadows certainly wasn't doing anything to convince me that the series was suddenly good again. It's not like I thought it looked terrible or anything, and I honestly kinda thought the hatred was a little bit overblown. I mean, you had the typical buzzwords like woke and mid and trash and dumpster fire and all that crap, and I'm just like, yes, the internet being the internet again. And for those of you who somehow have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, apparently it was this whole situation where the game was taking place in Japan, but then decided to include Yasuke, who's like a, black samurai or whatever who lived in Japan a long fucking time ago, something like that. And what's my take on all this? I don't fucking care! Sorry, what I meant to say was it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people. Now, I'll admit, it is a bit of a missed opportunity having an Assassin's Creed game taking place in Japan and not having exclusively Japanese representation. If they wanted to have a black protagonist, they could have just had an Assassin's Creed game taking place in Africa or something, but no, of course they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. But honestly, I didn't really care that much. There was a bit of a debate going around whether Yasuke was a samurai or whatever the fuck else, and they're like, oh, they're fucking with history. It's not historically accurate. I'm sorry, has everyone forgotten what the most important aspect of a video game is? That it's fucking fun. Okay, nothing else matters, at least as far as I'm concerned. If a game is even remotely fun, I really don't give a shit. At all. Maybe that's just me. And honestly, some of the later gameplay trailers looked alright. I'm not really interested in Yasuke's gameplay, but the other character, whatever her name is, the actual Japanese character in the game, looks really fun, and she's got this chain blade thing that looks like it's gonna be really fun to use. I don't think they've ever had anything like that in the Assassin's Creed series before. And again, I wouldn't really know, but as far as I know, it's never really been done before, so. Looks kinda fun, so as far as I'm concerned, there's no issues. Is what I would say if it wasn't for an article that came out recently. Apparently, half of the development team has never worked on a game before. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, this is the part of the video where most people would read the article out loud, but I'm pretty sure the headline speaks for itself. If anyone's interested in reading it, the link will be down below, but for now, let's just talk about this shit. Now, I get every developer has to start somewhere. Every developer who has ever developed a game in their entire life has had a point in their life where they never developed a game before, and then they started developing games and had experience. But you gotta start off small, man! Just look at Toby Fox, for example. Dude started off making ROM hacks for fucking Earthbound, and then worked his way up to making his own video game, that being Undertale. And now he's been working super hard on that Deltarune game that's been kind of a work in progress. Point is, you don't throw a bunch of inexperienced developers at a game in an established series. That's fucking stupid. No, I want to give these guys the benefit of the doubt and say maybe they'll do a decent job. And I'm sure they're gonna have more experienced developers watching over them and working them through every step of the way, but come on, man. That's still dumb. You just don't do that. And it really shows how little they care that they're willing to do that. Like, seriously, even as little as I gave a shit about this game, I was still willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. But then I saw that, and I'm like...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And that's not even mentioning the fact that the PC version of the game is apparently going to be using Denuvo, which is like an anti-cheat software that is known to cause issues with video games, and everybody hates it, and yet developers still insist on using it? Now, it shouldn't be an issue if you're playing the game on consoles, because I'm pretty sure consoles don't use that, but anybody playing the game on PC or Steam Deck is gonna have a bad time. Like, Ubisoft has already been pissing people off left and right, and they're really not doing themselves any favors. I'm pretty sure the coolest thing they did in recent memory was re-release the Scott Pilgrim video game. People didn't even give a shit that they released a new Prince of Persia game, and people have been asking that for, like, ever. But hey, they're supposed to be bringing back the Rayman series, so that's good news. But even that probably won't be enough to save them if they continue making the dumbest decisions known to mankind. Plus, who knows if the next Rayman game's even gonna be good or not. Maybe if it actually has experienced developers. Whatever, man. Video over. Can't even be bothered to do a fucking outro. Get the feeling everybody's gonna owe the Assassin's Creed movie an apology after this fucking shit.